Like you said earlier, there was a really reckoning point when ChatGPT was introduced and it came super mainstream a little less than a year ago, and that was the realization AI was here. So before this, was AI more of the Wild West? Was there any regulation? What did that look like?
So it's pretty accurate to say that it has been a bit of a Wild West out there. There are of course major players right now that are pioneering AI research and AI products. You have Google, Microsoft, all sort of leading the way here, and you also have these like more recent AI giants that have emerged. You have OpenAI, Anthropic. There's a whole range of them, like newly created powerhouses, really. But under that layer, there is also a massive, sprawling open source community on platforms like Hugging Face, where we do see that open source is a place where a lot of innovation happens, but it's also a place that it's by nature is open source. Therefore, it can attract players from across the spectrum.
President Biden said this when you were at the White House, quote, "I'm determined to do everything in my power to promote and demand responsible innovation." How do you balance, or how rather is he balancing regulation and innovation here specifically?
So in terms of spurring innovation, the one thing that they've talked a lot about is the fact that they're going to be streamlining the immigration process for people, for people who work in AI. That includes fast tracking green card applications. They're also launched a website, ai.gov, where they're going to also be advertising jobs within the federal government to focus on AI work. So that was sort of their one part of their innovation piece. When it comes to regulating and guardrails, there's a whole series of new requirements that they are introducing, especially as it pertains to working with the federal government. Major companies who produce AI products want to work with the federal government, and if they're going to do that, per this order, they're going to have a lot of their models tested, and they're going to have to go through a process known as red teaming, which means that threats are going to be detected early. There's going to be a lot of reporting around this, and there's going to be a lot of reporting around this, and the requirements are also increasing. However, the problem with an executive order without backing from legislation, there's some ways in which the government the White House is hamstrung here. They cannot direct other agencies to introduce regulations. They can only encourage them to do so. They've asked the FTC to ensure that it brings antitrust actions against companies to ensure that there's a competitive industry, but the White House doesn't have authority to direct it to do so. So that's one example.